Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And yeah, it's time for a really quick video where I basically update you guys on my first day at Primavera Sound, the Barcelona, Spain based music festival right by the shore here in Barcelona, in sort of a beautiful, large park area, numerous stages, a lot of groups going this year. The lineup is fantastic, and so many sets I want to see happening at the same time. It hurts. Regardless, though, my first day was pretty great. I mean, I met a bunch of people who watched the show, and they were amazing, incredibly fantastic. We sort of talked each other up for a little bit. And over the course of the day, I got to see a handful of acts that I either have seen before, and I saw great performances from them again, or just groups I had been wanting to see, but through this festival now have gotten a chance to. I kind of kicked off my day seeing the Australian rock band Twerps, very easy, breezy, sweet, and sleazy. Their set was, and a lot of people were, really vibing to their garagey, jangly sound. And then after them, I caught Viet Cong. I've never seen women, so I figured I had to see Viet Cong. And I did like their new record. Didn't love it, but I liked it a lot. And it was actually one of the better live sets of the day for me. I'm actually pretty surprised that the band came off as visceral as they did in person, since on record, there is so much reverb. There does feel like there is so much distance from the band. There is so much eeriness to their sound and the way that they record. That didn't really come through in the live performance. Rather, they were just incredibly high energy. The guitars were twangy and very sharp and cutting. The bass was huge and very resonant, and the drum beats were sharp as hell. So yeah, again, it was a very energetic, very visceral live performance. That was a great change of pace. After that, I went to go see Battles, who were maybe just an earshot away from the stage that Viet Cong was playing on. They were playing at the Heineken stage, and you see, here's the thing: the secret is that you needed to get a ticket before you could see that show. At least it was a secret from me. So I did not go and see Battles, unfortunately, but I did end up seeing a live set that was sort of clashing with Battles at the time. I headed over to this large auditorium where they were doing a Sunn Kil Moon performance. Mark Kozlek was there, full band behind him. It was actually totally electric. There wasn't an acoustic instrument in sight. And so we were hearing like these electric guitar renditions of tracks off of Benji, older Sunn Kil Moon songs as well. And Mark was incredibly aggressive on stage. And I'm not just talking about, like stage banter or anything like that. We'll get to that a little bit later. But he was like yelling the words, just shouting the words to his songs at the top of his lungs. It was just strangely aggressive. I mean, he was yelling to the point where his voice was cracking. He was just shouting the hell out of these songs, Richard Ramirez died of natural causes. He was just completely amped, and there was this drum and cymbal set up for him side stage, and occasionally he would go over there and bang it as he was singing. It was very odd, but a good performance as well. Part of the way in the performance, I won't totally spoil it, but he I guess sort of made mention of a few song titles that he anticipates may end up pissing some people off on his next album. I think at this point he just kind of lives to troll. So from there, I ended up heading over to the ATP stage, where I caught my last two performances of the night. One, Spiritualized, who I've been dying to see for a long time. The performance was great. From the guitars, the bass, the keys, the backup singers. It seems that the Spiritualized set oriented itself mostly around the most gospel-themed songs in the band's catalog. So whether or not that's a good thing in your opinion, is your opinion. Personally, I would have loved to have heard, more tracks from Ladies and Gentlemen, more tracks from the new LP, especially, the more hard-rocking tracks. But still, it was actually a really great set. You could tell that singing these songs, these very religious in themed songs, is an incredibly emotional experience for the band, and that they're not just one of these groups that sort of puts these messages in their music for show. That it actually means something significant and I guess philosophically to them. So again, that was a great performance. Really great, sort of subtle and quiet and beautiful moments, and really huge, amazing crescendos as well, where things would get kind of noisy and psychedelic. And finally, after Spiritualized, I kind of closed things out with a sunset. It was just an hour-long set, not a massively long set or anything like that. I was pretty jet-lagged by the time that they came onto the stage, so I just kind of zoned out a little bit. I was feeling that bass. It was just, the perfect mood for that. Attila was there as well. They had, all those stacked speaker cabinets. They had all the Sunn amps. They had the Ampeg amps out. They had a Moog synthesizer there as well, and Attila was there as I said, and he was giving a pretty great vocal performance too. Came out in a robe, was doing the throat singing, the very deep and that sort of thing, but then later came out in sort of that mirror shawl robe that he's got going, with the spiked crown, started delivering some pretty horrific shrieks and stuff like that. Sunn, man, if you see him live, it's always messed up. It's always messed up. So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that was pretty much the performances that I caught today. I'm going to be doing a video next, tomorrow, sort of talking about all the performances that I'm catching this afternoon too. So yeah, I mean, I'm having a cool time over here. For those of you who did make it out to the festival, I hope you have fun as well. And if you are planning on making a trip out here ever, this festival would definitely be a good excuse to do so. It's not too big. It's pretty low key. If you make it to a spot early enough, you can get close to the stage, and the performances so far have been really good, and the atmosphere overall is great. It doesn't feel like while in a sense it can be kind of frustrating to be like, oh, there are three bands I love playing at the same time, but that's the only sense that they're playing. That can definitely be frustrating. The festival isn't so big that it feels like impossible to manage or anything like that. So yeah, that's it, man. I'll catch up with you guys again. Talk to you, very soon about my next day. And you're the best. Anthony Fantano, music, Primavera Sound, forever.